guys, I have a new book for you. It is called Measuring Penny. It is all about measurement. It is about this girl named Lisa, and she is assigned an assignment of measuring items at home, and she chooses her dog Penny. And so I wanted Daisy, this is my dog Daisy, I wanted her to be here while I'm reading this. And Chip may join us, but he's wandering around the kitchen looking for table scraps. So anywho, this is Measuring Penny. And I hope y'all had a good time measuring today. If you started on our day one of our distance learning, there's still lots and lots of time to get some more measuring in the next couple of weeks. But this is going to give you a little bit more information on standard and non-standard units. My name is Lisa, and my teacher says our next big homework project is to measure something. Mr. Jason says we can measure anything like a sofa, a television set, or a doll. He wrote all over this board, measuring homework due next Tuesday. Choose something to measure. Measure it in as many ways as you can. Height, width, length, weight, volume, temperature, and time. Record your results. Include at least one comparison. It is taller than or heavier than. Remember, a measurement always has two parts, a number and a unit. I am 6 feet tall. For example, if you're measuring your pencil, you may say, my pencil is 6 inches tall, or my pencil is 7 paper clips long. Now, pencils aren't tall, but if you had it standing up, I guess you could say tall. Which units can you use? Here are some examples. Standard units: inches, feet, yards, centimeters, meters, teaspoons, cups, gallons, pounds, minutes, etc. Non-standard units: paper clips, bricks, frogs, marbles, pencils, toes, etc. Use your imagination. There's Chip. Chip, come join our story time. Look at this cool anchor chart that they have in their classroom. It says how tall, how heavy, how small. Measuring helps us to understand the world. Come sit by me. Come here. Maybe we can get him. When I got home today, my dog Penny jumped all over me as usual. Wow, I could measure Penny for my homework. She is a Boston Terrier and is bigger than a pug and smaller than a Cocker Spaniel. She is about the size of a Shetland sheepdog. She's making a comparison of her. And she says, Penny, stop drooling. Come here. See, she has her diagram drawn in her journal and her homework that she's going to be turning in. It says, come on, Penny, I'll get a ruler and we'll run over to the park. Look at all the dogs out here today. Hey, get down. I can't believe how many dogs live around here. Fine, I'll measure some of you too. We're supposed to use a standard unit, so let me use inches to see how long your noses are. Stop licking my face. Okay, so if you look at the Shetland sheepdog, it's 4 inches. Remember, you put the end of the ruler at the 0. You start at the 0. Sometimes it's the very end. Sometimes it's a little bit over. You have to look at the ruler that you're using. So put it at the 0 and go over till you get to the end, and it is about 4 inches long. We're measuring to the nearest inch in 2nd grade right now. So if it's a little bit over, it's still 4. If it's almost, we're still going to count it as 4. Look at Penny's. Penny's is much shorter. It's 1 inch. And then the pug is even shorter. It's 1/2 an inch. So Penny's measurements, her nose, the length is 1 inch. The unit is in inches. I'll measure your tail with a non-standard unit, dog biscuits. Will you please hold still? Penny has the shortest tail. So here she used the dog biscuits, the non-standard unit, to measure. There's 1 dog biscuit for Penny's tail, 4 dog biscuits for a fox terrier, 6 dog biscuits for a mixed breed, and 10 dog biscuits for a greyhound. Look at that long tail. So Penny's is shorter than all the other dog's tail. So she recorded that also. Tail length equals 1 dog biscuit. The unit she used was dog biscuit, and it was a non-standard unit. We see you again, Chip. We see you. Says, I'll measure your ears with another non-standard unit, cotton swabs. Don't wiggle so much. Oh, they gotta stay nice and still so they can measure them. The pug's is half of a swab tall. Penny's is 1 swab tall. Look at the basset hound, 3 cotton swabs long. Oh my goodness, see theirs is tall because they're sticking up, and these are long because it's going this way, lengthway. Penny's ear, length, 1 swab, unit, cotton swab. Let's see how wide your paws are. I'll turn over my ruler and measure with another standard unit, centimeters. We're going to be using centimeters also. Okay, that's the metric unit. There's Chip over there. See, now you can see both of them. There's my Chip and there's my Daisy. The mixed breed has 5 centimeters on their paws. The Dachshund is 2.5. Penny's is 3 centimeters wide. And the Cocker Spaniel's is 4 centimeters wide. So then, once again, she recorded Penny's paw print with 3 centimeters, unit, centimeter. You like this book, Daisy? You like that book? See all those puppies? I want to see how tall you are. Everybody sit. Okay, look at this little guy. This is a Dachshund. He's 12 inches. 12 inches is a really, really important measurement because we convert inches to feet, and 12 inches equals 1 foot. That's the length of 1 ruler. So 3 feet are in a yard, and we'll get to that later. That means 3 rulers. You put them together, it makes 1 yard, or 36 inches. And we're going to get to all that information later on. Okay, the Cocker Spaniel is 24 inches, which is also 2 feet. The Greyhound, he is tall, 36 inches, or 3 feet. What? Look at this dog, the mixed breed. He's 4 feet tall. Look at him, 4 feet tall. And Penny, she's 18 inches. So Penny is taller than the Dachshund, but shorter than the Cocker Spaniel. So Penny's height, 18 inches. The unit that she uses inch. 12 inches equals 1 foot. Penny is 1.5 feet tall. So she's 1 ruler and then half of another ruler. Okay, so 18 inches, 3 feet equals 1 yard. Penny is half a yard tall. Oh, there's so many different ways that you can explain and describe measurement, isn't there? Not only just standard and non-standard units, but then once you get into the standard units, there's different ways we put it in, like the feet, in the inches, in the yards, and then miles later on. Let's see how high you can jump. Penny can jump up to my waist. I could use myself to measure with. So this is going to be a non-standard unit of measurement. The Fox Terrier, look, he jumps high. He jumps shoulder high, up to her shoulder. Penny can jump waist high. And the Basset Hound, he can jump knee high. Look at that Greyhound. He jumped all over her head. Over her head. That's so tall. My goodness, Greyhounds are very, very athletic dogs. The Shetland Sheepdog jumped chest high. And the Pug and the Dachshund, they're not going to jump. They're just going to lay there. Penny's jump is as high as her waist. Okay, so now we're getting into weight, which isn't what we're learning about in math right now, but I'm going to go ahead and read this part to you too, because weight's very important and we'll learn about it later this year also. There's no scale here in the park, so I can't weigh anything. Wait, I could use the seesaw to see how heavy Penny is compared with the other dogs. The seesaw is down on Penny's end, so she is heavier than the Pug. We did something like this similar at the beginning of the year in science. We talked about objects that were heavier and lighter. We measured how many marbles or rocks it took to weigh different items in our classroom. That was fun. That was way back then in the beginning of 2nd grade. Weight comparison. Penny is heavier than the pug, lighter than the Cocker Spaniel, same as the Shetland Sheepdog. Now Penny's end is way up high. She is lighter than the Cocker Spaniel. The seesaw is balanced when she sits with the Shetland Sheepdog. How neat. Says, you look thirsty. We better go home and get you a drink. See you later, everybody. Let's stop in the bathroom so I can weigh you. Get on the scale. You're exactly 16 pounds. Now, let's go to the kitchen and get your drink. Mr. Jason says, volume is the amount of space something fills, like water in a cup. Volume. We explored that also when we were doing states of matter. So what volume of water do you want? A cup? A pint, a quart, or a gallon, maybe a tablespoon or a teaspoon. You drank a cup of water already today, so I'll give you another cup. I suppose you're hungry too. Now you can't have the whole bag of dog food. I'll give you half a cup. So her drinking water per day is 1 to 3 cups, and food per day, 1 cup dry, 1/2 cup canned. The unit that she used was cups. It's very important to always put your units because as a scientist or a mathematician, when you're wanting to replicate somebody's experiment or investigation, if you just say, give the dog one what? 1 little grain of food, or 1 cup, or 1 pound. Okay, so you need to be able to know that, just like when we did our seed experiment earlier. And I said, do a little bit of water, and you watched me do it. More accurately, I should have said, give the seed 1 milliliter of water. Because if I had just said 1, and you gave that seed 1 cup of water, you would drown it and it would not germinate. It would probably end up rotting. So you need to be very specific when you are recording all of your information from your experiments and investigations. Sometimes Dad and I make homemade dog biscuits. We measure the ingredients so they taste good, at least to you know who. I think they're about to sleep. I think they're falling asleep as I'm reading this story. Oh, no. They woke up. I better keep reading. I'm going to follow Penny around all day Saturday to measure how much time I spend taking care of her. Penny's schedule. Here's it all written out. Put it right there if you want to read all that. She's recording it by hours and minutes. Look, there's a 1:15, 2:30, 3:45. Remember all those quarter times? Different times, 1/2 past, 1/4 past, 1/4 till, all that we need to review when we get back together. I'll make a poster for this part, taking care of Penny. How much time does it take? Feeding her took about 10 minutes, brushing her 15 seconds because she has long hair. Kind of like Chip. Look at Chip. He has big, long hair. It takes me 40 minutes to brush him. Look at all that hair. Daisy, it doesn't take as long because she has short hair. Walking her 5 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes afternoon, 10 minutes at night, playing with her 1/2 hour to an hour, weekly giving her a bath, 15 minutes to an hour. When she's an hour, it's probably when she's naughty and she has to chase her around the house. Clipping her toenails, 5 minutes. And the unit she used was hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, now she's going to measure how quickly Penny can run to different places. She can get from her bed to the kitchen in 6 seconds. That is so quick. That is so quick. Her bed to her dish, 6 seconds. Across the backyard, 4 seconds. Around the block, 5 minutes. The block is much longer than the backyard. That makes sense. To the park, 7 minutes. To my bus stop, 15 seconds. I bet you that bus stop is right in front of the house, and that's why she's able to get there so fast. Unit she used was minutes and seconds. Temperature is important to Penny. She doesn't like things that are too hot or too cold. Penny likes to go on longer walks when the weather is nice. See how she used this bar graph? We did a little bit of data analysis right before we went on spring break, and we had started doing bar graphs. And so The time in minutes, that's walking time. So if we look at the title of the graph, walking times, this is the times in minutes. As you go up the scale, it's counting by tens. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So when it's 0 degrees outside, oh my goodness, who would even go out at 0 degrees outside? She only likes to walk for maybe 5 minutes, less than 10 minutes. But when it's nice outside, 60 degrees, that's good walking weather. She'll walk for a whole hour. But then as it gets hotter, 80 degrees, 100 degrees, she starts not wanting to be outside as much. That's the same as we are, isn't it? If it was this cold, Miss Turner would not even go outside. I would be inside. I would not go walking at all. In fact, you can almost tell the temperature outside just by looking at her. See her panting. Here she is, happy and walking. Ooh, she's cold. Ooh, she's very cold right here. In here, yeah, she's inside, just like I suspected. The last thing I'm going to measure Penny with is money. Mom looked through her checkbook to help me figure out this, or figure this out. We decided Penny is kind of expensive. Owning a dog is expensive. Cost of having Penny to buy her was $275. Food for 1 whole year is $400. To go to the vet once a year, $120. Her toys, collar, all those things that go along with having a dog, $75. They use dollars and cents for their units. But she's worth a lot too. Value of having Penny as a burglar alarm, $1,000. As an exercise machine, $500. As entertainment, $20 a day. And for love, $1 million. She's priceless. Just like my puppies are priceless. You're priceless, Daisy. You are priceless. I'm sure Mr. Jason will give me a good grade on this measuring project. Penny, maybe we should change your name to Million. Aw, she loves her puppy so much. Okay, I hope that this was a fun way for you to understand measurement a little bit more and kind of see it in a real world perspective. Okay, so this was measuring Penny. Okay, Daisy, say bye-bye. She's like, well, you woke me up. I did, I woke you up. She did go to sleep while I was reading.